number 13, Basher Bowes. Wearing number 141, Reavertan. 1738, Track Queen. 23, Heavy Headbanger. 281, The Big Lebowski. 53, Rapunzel. 55, Cinnabon. 601, Takeout Sushi. 624, Battlestar Heptastica. And number 666, Grand Reaper. These are the Capital City Roller Girls. And now the team you're ready to see, your very own Dixie Derby Girls! And skating wearing the number 16, Mini Militia! Wearing the number 181, Poison Ivy! Wearing the number 1968, sponsored by Choose Your Moments Photography, Wiley Coyote. Number 22, Catastrophe. Sponsored by Timepiece, the Captain. Number 27, Asian Invasion. Number 3, Mariah Cherry. Number 36, Ghostface. Also sponsored by Timepiece Tattoos, number 4, B.O.A. Number 42, Thumper. Number 43, Rolly the Riveter. 495, Kutsia. Number 76, Rocket City Mel. 801, Candy Corinne. And number 87, Very Dangerous. These are your 2019 Dixie Derby Girls. Those other ones aren't even there, so it doesn't even really matter if we block those out or not. Where did I just put my phone down? Oh, there it is. Alrighty, we're setting up for the first jam of the evening. Jammer's going to be 1968 Wiley Coyote for the home team, and wearing number 281 for Capital City, the Big Lebowski. Oh, make sure we have all the doors closed so we safety there real quick. Thank you, Oddfather. And there's an Infomaniac with 5 seconds. And they're off. Oh, and working a quick into the out. That's going to be lead jammer status going for the visiting team. And taking a couple of shots there from Asian Invasion, forcing the call off. 2 points onto the board, going for the visiting team. Locked out was Dixie. We're going to have Track Queen out there for the visitors and Poison Ivy out there for Dixie as your jammers for jam number 2. Split the defense Rock City Male bridging the two teams out, letting the Dixie defense continue to play strong into the initial apex. And with the out-of-play call, lead jammer status now 2 in a row, going for the visiting team. That is Track Queen. Continue to see the strong defense out there from the visiting team from Jackson, Mississippi. Last line of defense there, number 13, Basher Bowes, able to get the deep recycle. Track Queen broke the pack to grab that lead, having a much tougher time coming through on the second turn of the track, able to trying to grab those points. Defense not surrendering anything, is rolling the hips into the back. Reaver Tam trying to play the offense. And finally one push out for 4 points, calls off the jam. So we're 2 jams in, 6 points on the board for Capital. Nothing yet for Dixie. Wally Coyote coming back onto the track for turn number 2. Being matched up against number 23, Hippie Headbanger. Little different set of the track here now. Dixie taking the rear wall, putting Capital City at the front. Both teams playing the recycle game now. Oh, and that time, taking the helmet cover off actually worked. For Capital City. As we're gonna trade 4 points for Dixie, 3 points for Capital. So Dixie now on the board with that turn of the track. So we're sitting at 4-9, and 4 minutes have gone off the clock. And starting this jam number 3, we're gonna have Mini Militia wearing number 16, number 281, Big Lebowski out there for Capital City. Goodsia playing the recycle game and breaking the front of the back. Lead jammer status, first one of the evening, going to Mini Militia. And once again, Goodsia able to get the recycle going, having to reset the defense. Low block sending number 53, Rapunzel, off to the penalty box. Strong defense now coming out for your hometown Dixie Derby girls. And another skidder going off the back. That's going to be a forearm, putting 2 blockers left out there on the track for Capital City. As Mini Militia calls off the jam with 4 more points onto the board, bringing that jam total to 8 and the game total to 12 with a 3-point lead. Dixie Derby now out front. And coming back into the jam, we're going to have Wiley Coyote, 3rd time out there now on this track, sidling up against number 1738, Trap Queen. No back call coming from the inside from the head rep, Betty Clocker. Wiley Coyote grabs the 2nd lead in a row for Dixie. And a quick pass to the inside, only 2 blockers to beat. 1 blocker to beat now as the pivot heads off to the penalty box. And Wiley Coyote able to make a clean pass on that run, making it 4 more points onto the board. Dixie defense settling in strong right now with the captain, Asian Invasion, alongside BOA. Good run deep offense out there by 141 Reaver Tam. Oh, but a track down by Asian Invasion. Putting the jammer on the deck as Wile E. Coyote throws one more pass up onto the track. And Wiley with a jump over on the inside, able to grab 4 more points and calls it off as well.
I don't know what I have time to. It's 23. It's a 23:03 is what I have up there. Are we rolling any time on here? You seen any kind of time roll for this? Nice. Okay. Cool.
So that's 20 points onto the board for Dixie, 32-9. 22:45 sets on the clock as Poison Ivy comes in to jam for Dixie alongside number 13, Basher Bowes. That's now 3 lead jam statuses in a row going for Dixie. And breaking the back, seeing Basher Bowes clear the pack, calls off the jam. Going to settle that one out with 4 points, extending the lead now, 36-9. So both teams trading off lead jam runs. The 3 first went to Capital City. The last 3 going to Dixie. This is the turn. And it's going to go to Mini Militia to make it 4 in a row for Dixie. Now the Big Lebowski trying to get a little help from friends there, trying to make a way through. We're able to actually finally shrug off the contact and find the open space. Mini Militia breaks the last skater from the pack and calls off the jam with another 4-point pass. And we are now looking at a time of 21 minutes on the clock. Jam number 8's about to start. The score, 40-9 in favor of Dixie. And once again, Wile E. Coyote back there out on the track and doing the work. Now making it 5 in a row, going for the Dixie Derby girls. Garcia heading off to the penalty box with a forearm penalty as the jam is called by Wile E. Coyote as Track Queens started to play Shadow. Gonna knock 4 more up onto the board, bringing the game total to 44. And Capital City still sitting at 9. And stepping out on the track is 64 Battlestar Hiptastica, the first time out of the track jamming for Capital City. Out there once again, number 181, Poison Ivy, 3rd time taking jammer duties out here for the hometown team in black. Hard hit coming from Asian Invasion. Tandeming right now with BOA. These two have been doing it for a while. And playing the patient defense, but not long enough. Poison Ivy able to break there at the end of the second straightaway. BOA trying to get into the mix here to slow down. Oh, and a pin down inside from Very Dangerous, able to give the offense for Poison Ivy to break through for 4 points. the big sponsor this year for the Dixie Derby Girls, Grub South. Eating just got easier. You can find them downtown on Jefferson Street. Give them a call or go online, grubsouth.com. We deliver your favorite Huntsville, Madison, Athens, Decatur, Cullman, and the Shoals, Alabama restaurants to your door. Mini Militia, the Big Lebowski, they are your jammers here at the start of jam number 10. And riding out that defense to the front, Mini Militia grabs that lead jammer status. And both packs speed up. Let's see what the outcome will be on the point totals. Oh, and able to slide in at the back of the pack. Able to put 3 points onto the board was Capital City, breaking that 0 streak. But not to be outdone, 4 points onto the board for Dixie. (52-12) with 17:28 on the clock is where we sit as Wiley Coyote and Track Queen take the jammer line. Both jammers trying their best to ping pong through these defenders. And breaking that hot streak that Dixie had going. Lead jammer status going for Capital City. Track Queen makes the quick call off as she was joined by Wiley Coyote. Looks like champ number 11 is going to be our first shutout of the evening. 0 side. We're going to keep those scores at 52-12.
If you see one that's like a really like, whoa, shot that one too.
And we got Poison Ivy, and we have Hippie Headbanger. Hippie Headbanger making it 2 in a row now for Capital City. Once again, Basher Bose playing the strong recycle game against Poison Ivy. Not to be outdone this time, Kutsia also knows how to save the track and recycle. And getting past the blockers that time was Heavy Headbanger, able to step there on the inside to grab a full 4 points. And with another pass of the track now, making this the top jam so far of the evening for Capital City, currently at 8 points. And calls off the jam with one more turn of the track, bringing 1 more point onto the board. So 9 points in the jam for the visiting team, 52-21, 15 minutes left to go in the first. And we're going to take a team time out going for Capital City. Don't forget the rest of the bouts that we have going on this year here at Insanity. You can find us again April 13th, May 18th, June 22nd, July 13th, and August 17th. All here at Insanity Complex. Don't forget to go online after the conclusion of this game. Shutterstruck will be posting lots of photos over the next couple of days, 3 days. I don't know. It just depends on how many photos are taken at this game, because we've got some players playing here for the first time with Dixie, so we know we're going to get some shots of them. So choose your moments photography. Find them on Facebook. And of course, our charity partner for this bout is Huntsville Theater. Theater Huntsville. Blah, I'll get it right. Our theater, your theater. You can find them online, of course, at theaterhuntsville.org and on Facebook. They're North Alabama's premier community theater organization. And remember, that's theater with an R-E. And stepping back on the track with Mini Militia, we have the Big Lebowski. We have a full contingent of blockers. Once again, a familiar face on the recycle. Basher Bo is able to get back and bring Mini Militia back in the fold. Mini Militia trying to find that little bit of an inside edge, not quite able to. Dixie putting in the clamp down defense on the front right now, rotating those blockers into the points of contact. Holding strong on the push. As time, a natural offense was played out there by Capital City, able to get to the inside edge to find a natural offense. And we now have a power jam opportunity going for Capital City as a trap cut sending Mini Militia off to the penalty box. Asian Invasion now with the deep recycle, trying to reset the Big Lebowski, giving your defense up front a little time to take a breather. Very dangerous, seals off the edge. Ghostface carries that blocker over to the middle, helping to force the call off, stalling out Mini Militia in the penalty box. And quality penalty kill coming out of the Dixie defense, only surrendering 3 points during that power jam. 52-24 is where we sit. Dixie in the lead and 12:53 on the clock. And Weaver Tam for Capital City with the seal off on the outside, able to break the jammer free to grab that lead jammer status. Now 4 in a row going for Capital City in the hands of Track Queen. And once again, Magali Kutsia able to get the deep recycle, helping to force the call off as Mini Militia broke out of the penalty box and through the pack. 1 point onto the board. And we have a palindrome score, 52-25. With Wiley Coyote and Hippie Headbanger taking the jammer line. Say I pretty much put this game plan on reset. Once again, Basher Rose taking Wiley Coyote out of the back. And Wiley Coyote taking a deep recycle, tiptoeing through the inside, grabbing that lead jammer status. Breaking that 4-jam streak by Capital City. And getting chipped to the inside, calling off the jam, 2 points onto the board. Now both teams able to get each squad on a bit of a 0 run. Those 2 points broke a 4-jam scoreless streak by Dixie. We got Poison Ivy and Track Queen. They are wearing the stars. Capital City taking the bridge right now, trying to control Poison Ivy at the top. Poison Ivy able to find a little bit of inside slot. Grabs that lead jammer status. 2 in a row now going for Dixie. Another tiptoe through the inside, gets the call-off signal from the bench. Both teams now settling in. Each team had a bit of a hit streak going on there for a little bit. Kind of settling in now. Capital City starting off with one in the box. Blocker advantage going for Dixie. The big Lebowski out there trying to press into the bodies, getting into that circle of death. Mini Militia trying to take on two. As Hippie trying to do the duty of bridge, and off the back of Basher Bose skips out. Mini Militia grabbing lead, making it 3 in a row. And Star Pass has come out, gone over to number 13, Basher Bose. Calls off the jam, though, does Mini Militia. Freezing out Capital City, but not before putting 4 points onto the board. 62-25 is the score, 8:30 left to go in the first. And Basher Bose already starts it off with it, a hat on the head, already passes that off, but not before Wiley Coyote is able to break out to grab the lead. Your jammer now is Battle Scar hit Pastica. And we're going to call it a one and done. 4 more points onto the board. 66-25 is your score. Don't forget, we're going to have Chug-a-Duck coming up here at halftime. Can't win if you don't play, so go by the merch table, get your Chug-a-Duck. Capital City sent out Track Queen. Dixie sent out Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy able to press the defense forward to break the pack and grab lead. Seriously streaky game. Lead. And gonna go ahead and make the one pass through before the opposing jammer meets the back. 4 more points onto the board. 70-25 is where we are. Chatting with my producer Duncan over here, noticing this game is a game of streaks. Not once has any lead been exchanged in a row. It has been streak after streak. Once a team gets lead, they're gonna have it for 3 or 4 runs before they surrender it, and it goes for another 3 or 4 runs. Keeping that streak strong, though, for Dixie is number 16, Mini Militia, making it 6 in a row. And Mini stepping through, able to grab the 4 points. Putting on the Jets, though, was the big Lebowski, able to skim off 1 point back there at the back of the pack. That just ended jam number 20, and that was the first points Dixie had surrendered since jam number 14. Wiley Coyote, Battlestar, Hiptastica, and Wiley Coyote makes it 7 now. quick hit to the inside, though. It takes Wiley Coyote out, making the deep recycle. Not before Capital City able to pass that star off. Now going once again to Basher Bose. Four more points on the board, 78-26, 4:35 sitting on the clock. Dixie, one blocker sitting in the boxes. Poison Ivy stands on the jammer line against number 1738, Track Queen. Both jammers trying to find that little bit of an edge and angle to drive a blocker out of their way, but the blockers are doing a very good job for both teams on resetting themselves to catch these jammers. Kutsia now being joined by Mariah Cherry, finally having to let go. And lead has now been rendered for Capital City, breaking that streak by Dixie. Once again, the defense playing extremely strong for Capital on this one. And we now have had the star pass out of the back, going into the hands and soon onto the helmet. Ryan Cherry, now your jammer here for Dixie. And with a quick chip to the inside from Kutsia, calls off the jam. And waiting to see the point totals coming from our jam refs on the inside. Incredible defense in that last jam by both squads. Only 1 point surrendered by Dixie on that one. So we have just over 2 minutes left to go in the first. 78-27 is our score, and now 2 in a row going for Capital City. That's the Big Lebowski. And Mini Militia getting recycled there by number 13, Basher Bose. And able to swing past the hips. Swing past the hips there was the Big Lebowski to grab 4 more points. And having a quick run through the track one more time. The Big Lebowski calls off the jam. Not before putting 8 points onto the board, bringing their game total to 35 as we sit at 1:15. Just, well, clock keeps counting down, so we're going to probably be just under a minute as this jam starts for jam number 24. And whistle brings in the jam, Wiley Coyote, Battlestar Hiptastica. And Wiley Coyote breaks the pack to grab lead. And once again, deploying star pass capabilities, Capital City breaking it out of the pack onto the helmet of Basher Bose, but not before Wiley Coyote calls off the jam. 25 seconds sitting on the clock. Capital City sitting on 2 timeouts and an official review. Dixie, all 3 of their timeouts and an official review. As we have the 5-second call coming at the front from Nymphomaniac. Oh, and we do just under time have that jam called into play with 1 second left on the game clock. Oh, and Mariah Cherry slips through on the inside to grab lead jammer status. And once again, it's about jam time, not game time. And Track Queen coming into the back forces the call off from Mariah Cherry. Not for 4 more points put up onto the board. So we're going to finish off this first half with a score of 86-35. Stick around if you've got your ducks. We're going to have our Chug-a-Duck. And if you're not participating in Chug-a-Duck, go visit our vendors in the vendor village or go grab something here. Delicious to eat or to drink from Insanity. But return back here in 15 minutes for more Derby action. You can just go ahead. I stopped the recorded half.